Ever been in the middle of a conversation and suddenly you realize you have no clue what the other person just said? Or you drive home and you can't remember how you got home? You don't even remember the drive? That's dissociation. And while it might seem like just zoning out, for some, it's actually a trauma response. Let's break it down. Hey, I'm Kayla Riley, licensed therapist, entrepreneur, and mama, just trying to keep my shit together like the rest of you. Welcome to Shrink Shots, quick hit bonus episodes packed with bite-sized insights on relationships, parenting, and more. No fluff, just real talk. Let's do this. Dissociation is a neurobiological response triggered when the brain perceives a threat, and it activates the freeze response in the autonomic nervous system. It's a disconnect from reality, from emotions, or even your body. Mild dissociation is super common, like spacing out in a meeting. But in more intense cases, it can feel like you're totally outside of yourself and watching yourself or experiencing huge memory gaps. Research suggests that the amygdala, which is responsible for fear processing, becomes overactive, while the prefrontal cortex, which helps regulate your emotions and rational thinking, underperforms, making it harder to stay present. For individuals who've experienced prolonged trauma, such as growing up in a dysfunctional environment or in a dysfunctional family, memory encoding is affected. The brain prioritizes encoding threat-related memories over neutral or positive ones, leading to difficulty recalling everyday events while vividly remembering traumatic incidences. This isn't negativity. You're not a negative person if this is happening to you. It's just your brain's way of ensuring survival by reinforcing awareness of perceived danger. It doesn't have time for your trips to Disney or your really happy, day-to-day family dinners if on the weekends one of your parents is getting drunk and hurting your other parent and your whole body goes into this fight or flight mode. Dissociation is an evolutionary defense mechanism. It's a survival strategy for when fight or flight isn't an option. So when you can't fight back and you can't get away, the nervous system's detecting a danger, whether it's real or just perceived, and it deems escape impossible, so the parasympathetic nervous system initiates this freeze response. So it numbs your emotion, detaches awareness from the present moment. Chronic dissociation, frequently observed in individuals with PTSD or complex PTSD and other anxiety disorders, where repeated exposure to stress reinforces this response. So then this response becomes more of an automatic way of being or an automatic response to a stressor. So some signs you might be experiencing this dissociation is feeling disconnected from your surroundings, like the world is foggy or dreamlike, a sense of detachment from your body or emotions. You blank out or lose time during stressful situations or arguments or conflict, chaos, things like that. You feel like you're watching yourself from the outside. A lot of people experience this when they get in car accidents or something else that's really, really traumatic. Another one is difficulty remembering what just happened. So you are not broken. Your brain is just doing what it thinks it needs to do to protect you. If dissociation is affecting you, try grounding techniques like engaging your senses, holding ice, touching a textured object, or naming 5 things you see around you that can really ground you in the moment. Mindfulness and movement is really powerful as well for this experience. Activities like yoga or deep breathing, stretching can really integrate bodily awareness. So it can get you from your head and from, being far away into your body and into the sensations that are happening. Therapy is a big one here. If you're really experiencing dissociation and you're struggling, a trauma-informed therapist can help you understand why your brain is checking out and give you strategies to stay present. So one of the most effective approaches is EMDR, eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. It's my personal favorite as a client and as a person who owns a counseling center, we support therapists to be trained in and use this model because it's really, really effective in the research. EMDR facilitates the processing of your traumatic memories while you're using bilateral stimulation, such as guided eye movements or tapping, and it helps the brain reprocess this distressing experience and reduce the memory's emotional charge. Other evidence-based treatment modalities that can help with trauma are things like dialectical behavioral therapy, otherwise known as DBT. This teaches emotional regulation, distress tolerance, and mindfulness, which helps reduce dissociation and increase your presence. IFS is internal family systems. It explores the different parts of the psyche that may be carrying trauma, facilitating integration and self-leadership. Pretty cool. The other one is Somatic Experiencing, which can focus on body-based awareness to release trauma stored in the nervous system and reestablish physiological safety. These are just a couple. I know there are more, but remember that not all therapists are created equal. So some things you could do if you're seeking a therapist is make sure that they have good training and fidelity to one of these evidence-based treatment models. So you don't want someone who says, yeah, I'm trauma-based. And it's like, okay, what modalities do you use? And they have a hard time saying, or they say like, I've had a little training here and there. No, I want you to be like gung-ho EMDR or gung-ho IFS. Remember, the creme de la creme spends time, energy, and money on modalities that actually work. The goal of any of these types of therapies is helping individuals who are struggling with the dissociation regain a sense of presence, safety, and control over their lives. Dissociation is your brain's way of coping, but you are not stuck there. Recognizing it is the first step to managing it. If this resonates, you're not alone and therapy can help. Keep taking care of yourself. I'll catch you in the next Shrink Shot. Boom! Now you've got something to think about. If this hits home, share it with a friend or tag me on Instagram at notyourtherapist.kayla. Shrink Shots drop every Tuesday and Thursday with 10 episodes in each series. So hit follow and don't miss your next dose of no BS therapy wisdom. See you next time.